So the New York Jets are 4-2. We're going into Mile High Stadium. I forget what it's called nowadays, but it's in Denver. It's in Mile High. To face off against Russell. No, wait, not Russell Wilson. Breaking news: we're going to be facing one Brett Rypien this week. How do we feel about it? Well, I think as a Jets fan, you should still feel good. And before we get into it, I gotta say this is my 100th video dropping on YouTube. Watch all the way to the end because there's a giveaway that I'm gonna be advertising after this video. Let's go.
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
Congratulations, brother.
And here we okay. So the New York Jets face up against the Denver Broncos this week. We're 4-2, with a chance to leave, Denver with a 5-2 record. Now, all week we've been preparing for Russell Wilson, but unfortunately, it appears to be that we're going to be playing Rypien this coming game. Now, before we jump into that, I did not make a video about the Elijah Moore situation, and the reason being is I'm very, very agitated about it. I think a good portion of the fan base is very agitated about it. There was no way I was going to make a video that was going to at all come off as being, I don't know, neutral in terms of viewpoints or fair in terms of viewpoints. I've now been aligned with the fact that Elijah Moore showed us his true colors, and he's a cancer. He's a cancer. I think that he's a cancer right now within the group, this culture, this young core of playmakers, because it's not even about the trade request. I can understand you're a competitor and you want to go ahead and be more involved. You want to participate. You want to go ahead and be the cause, you know what I'm saying, for a team's winning. But we're not losing games. We're not losing games. We're winning games. The game plan for the last several weeks has relied heavily on the run game. And we're winning games. And you're 4 touches away, 4 targets away from being second on the team in terms of overall targets. You request a trade because you don't feel like you're getting enough love. You want us to change the entire offensive game plan just to go ahead and cater to your needs. So for me, I don't want to talk about it because this week is about, the New York Jets, not Elijah Moore, going into Denver and getting a win. Keep this train going. We're 4-2. We're on a 3-game win streak. I don't care about Elijah Moore crying, wanting more attention. This isn't freaking wide receiver daycare. So I didn't do a video on it because of that point. If you want to see my takes on it, I've been tweeting about it nonstop. You can take a look at on Twitter. But in terms of Elijah Moore, that's why I didn't do a video. Now on to what really matters. That's playing Denver. The New York Jets right now have a legitimate shot of going into Denver Broncos tomorrow and getting a W. Now, I will tell you this. I felt significantly more comfortable playing Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson has been atrocious this year. But it doesn't just go back to this year. I also did some more research on it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is the second video I've now done on this matter because I did a video before. I didn't get to edit it in time to post it. So I'm redoing the video right now because I did research on what Russell Wilson looked like last year and why he's shown us he's been on the decline for the last couple of years. But I digress. He's not playing. Do I think he's really injured? No. When the MRI came back clean, and then they had to specify, like right here, I'm gonna put the tweet up that he's really, really hurt, like it's legit. Like I felt like that was a little bit concerning that you have to emphasize that in terms of an injury report. So I don't believe the injury is in fact a real one. Yeah, is he bruised up? Is he banged up? I'm sure he is, but it's football, and we're in week 7. The majority of players, 90% of starters, are bruised up or banged up in some way, shape, or form. So I digress. The fact that we now have to play Rypien, we have to ask ourselves, how do we feel about it? This throws a wrench in the game plan because I'm pretty sure all week the Jets have been preparing for Russell Wilson. And now to realize it's not going to be him, what do we have to look forward to? Okay, so it's up here. So Brett Rypien is going into his 3rd year in the league. He's 6'2", 202 pounds, age 26. Played in Boise State. He was an undrafted free agent, so he wasn't drafted. Now, what should we be worried about? So, in a nutshell, he's appeared in 4 career regular season games with 1 start. and completing 27 of 42 passes for 64%, 295 yards and 2 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions in his career. Appeared in one game in a reserve role in 2021, logging 3 offensive snaps. Played in 3 games, one start with the Broncos in 2020, completing 27 of 40 passes for 295 with 2 touchdowns. And then we got started 49 of 50 games while playing at Boise State. Led the Broncos to a 37-12 record as their starting quarterback. Was named the MWC Offensive Player of the Year and earned his third selection to the All Mountain West first team following his senior year. Entered the NFL with Denver as a college free agent on May 2nd, 2019. So in terms of Rypien, we're not talking about somebody here that should strike fear in the hearts of the Jets, but the thing that should concern us is that he's really an unknown, right? Not enough game tape, enough experience for us to really know what to expect with Rypien. Not to mention this in this offensive scheme, right? So I think right now I still feel confident in the pure fact that whoever was going to be the quarterback for the Denver Broncos has to face a very up and coming defensive unit, both on that defensive line and in that secondary. We've seen our boys play lights out football the last couple of weeks against the likes of Aaron Rodgers, against the Miami Dolphins, where they have some real big playmakers in Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They went, into Pittsburgh and they took out their starter, and then they took out their incumbent starter that came in, to help him out in the second half, which looked pretty good since Pickett's come in. So like we this is the kind of I guess we can say this is the kind of like concern or controversy that the Jets of old we would have looked at it and freaked out because now all of a sudden the game plan has to change, everything's going to be different. But in all actuality, the game plan shouldn't change at all. That defensive line right now is getting into the backfield. Russell Wilson brings an element of mobility that I don't think this kid has. I don't think what's his name, Rypien. I can't mess that up. I don't think Rypien, you know what I'm saying, is known for his mobility, right? So it's not going to be one of those things where we have somebody back there that we know has the ability to extend plays. Not saying he can't move around, but he's not Russell Wilson level moving around. He also does not have the pedigree of somebody that could come into a game and decide just, blow it up. So with that said, their game plan, I think, is going to be heavily favored towards the run game, which they've kind of struggled in this past year. Or they're going to depend on the defense to keep them in this one and to get a win. But what I want us to be aware of is we don't know what they're going to do with this kid. And with that being said, we should expect the unexpected. Now, while we assume they're going to go ahead and push heavily for the run game, this could be the perfect game for them to decide to air it out. Now, doing that, I think, to me is kind of crazy. But, Cortland and freaking Judy are some good wide receivers. I could see why they would want to go that route. But I also believe that, DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner are some really, really impressive defensive backs. In terms of overall matchups, like this is going to be a game where I think predominantly is defensive oriented. And I do believe in this situation, even with Russell Wilson at the helm, that we had an advantage in the quarterback position. Zach Wilson has been playing good football. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, no, he hasn't. He hasn't done anything. He's doing this, that, and the other. If you're saying that, it's because you haven't watched the games. You're looking at the stats. So I don't care what you have to say. If you've watched the game, this kid has done exactly what was asked of him to do in order to win games. The game plan has been to trust the run. He's done that. He's made some big time throws when asked to do so. And he's done so in a clip of really high efficiency. I think towards the back end of the Packers game, he went 4 for 4 for 80 something yards. That's pretty darn efficient. Right, we saw him bring us back against the Steelers game. You saw him have an impressive throw, not just with the Packers, but again in the Miami game, right? He made a couple of beautiful throws to Brees Hall that extended to really, really big plays, right? Like he's proven that when called upon, he can make big time throws. Now I don't expect freaking Zach Wilson to go, off for this is gonna be the week where we're all like, oh my god, he's him, like he's the guy. There's still a lot to watch. We still don't know exactly what we have in Zach Wilson, but the thing is this. Zach Wilson officially plays his 17th NFL game on Sunday. That means he would have completed his first full season in the NFL. Zach Wilson is officially not even in his year 2 in terms of game play in the NFL. So for everybody that says that he sucks and he's a bust, or somebody who says that he's it, he's him, I don't know what you're looking at. I mean, we know that he's shown us that he can carry a team. We've also known that he's made some throws where you're like, what's going on? We haven't seen that signature 300-yard game yet. You know what I'm saying? That's going to make us go, wow, okay, this guy can do it. I'm still a big believer in Zach Wilson's upside and his potential. But until we see it, you can't say he's him or he's not. And so for me, I think this isn't going to be the game that we see Zach Wilson show us what he's capable of. Trust the process. The rushing game has been working. Why change it? They haven't been able to stop it, the last couple of teams. Brees Hall is different. The kid is different. Clearly running back one. Whereas when he first came into the season, we thought he was running back 1B to Michael Carter's 1A or vice versa. It's clear as day that Brees Hall is just different, man. Running back one, we got our boy Michael Carter out running back two, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? They're working in tandem. They see the offensive line starting to gel more. Now, we're going to see their biggest test yet. I think that defensive line of the Broncos is elite. I think the defense in general is top 5 in the league right now, so they're performing elite. Patrick Surtain is no joke. I can see him eliminating Garrett Wilson completely from the game plan. But with Mims coming into the game, that's also an advantage that we have that they don't have tape on. They haven't seen the new and improved Mims in this offense yet. So that could be something we could take advantage on, right? I'm not going to say Mims is going to have a blowout game, but I can see him being utilized for some of those 50-50 balls, those downfield throws that we've been relying so much on Corey Davis to do. Now you got Denzel Mims in there that can do the same thing as well. He can stretch the field a little bit. He's really good with the 50-50 balls. So I'm not saying there's not going to be some nice throws made this week. I think there's going to be some nice throws made this weekend, some nice catches made this weekend. I hope Denzel Mims has a freaking game and he balls out. And ultimately, I think that this is going to be a defensive low-scoring game. Now, with that said, I am currently batting 1,000 at being wrong on my predictions. And I am not going to jinx. I'm going to do my part as a Jets fan because I am not going to jinx that. I'm going to continue to do my part and bat 1,000 for my predictions when it comes to the Jets. So every time I've said who was going to win, they lost. Every time I've said who's going to lose, they win. So I'm batting 1,000 at being wrong when it comes to projections, when it comes to the New York Jets. With that said, my score prediction for this Sunday's game is going to be a defensive one. So if you were looking for a high scoring affair, this isn't going to be it. This isn't the game where we're going to see that. What we are going to see is the defenses from both sides show up, and who's going to ultimately win the game is going to be the first person that can get to that 14 to 21 score window is going to be the person that wins this game. So I predict the final score of the game is going to be 17-13. So that's 17-13. Denver Broncos win the game. Ultimately, defenses show up. When it's all said and done, 17-13, the Denver Broncos win this game. And they will go on to, I think, 3-3, and the Jets will fall to 3-3. I'm sorry, 4-3. Ultimately, this isn't going to be the game where I think we get to go ahead and really get an answer about what we have in Zach. This is going to be the game that pretty much, helps out the passing attack to make Elijah Moore feel better about coming back next week or whenever he comes back, if he comes back. But we are going to see some nice plays. We're going to see some things that are going to make us go wow. And we might have to scratch our head a couple of times because this is a full, like a complete defense. There's not any glaring weaknesses in the Denver Broncos defense. Nonetheless, the New York Jets are going to go in and they're going to get an L. Final score, 17-13. As I've stated before, I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little bit stitious. So I'm going to keep doing my part to make sure we keep this thing going. So, with that said, go Jets. I'm excited for it. I'm pumped for it. And yeah, till next time. Actually, hold on. Wait a second. I almost forgot. So, this is officially my 100th video that I've dropped on YouTube. Based off of algorithms and stuff, I have one of the fastest growing YouTube channels right now, which I don't know what that means, but it's nice to see that little badge and whatnot whenever I'm looking at like my profile. I've got 530 something subscribers right now. So again, thank you all for being here, watching my content, you know what I'm saying, interacting, commenting, liking. I really appreciate it. And on Twitter, I have now hit 800 and I think 855 followers on Twitter as well. Again, I love it. thank you so much. I really appreciate this, man. Like, I started this off as a hobby. It was just because a way for me to go ahead and do something that could just be fun for me outside of of work, and I just needed a hobby. And I love Jets, and to get in front of a camera after watching some of the guys I like to watch, you know what I'm saying, like Buffalo Jet fan, Green Bean, Jet Central, Matt O'Leary, Jets Media, right? Let's Talk Jets Radio. Like seeing those guys, and I jumped on the platform, and in doing so, I got to meet even more guys in the game, like Jets Chaos, Worker Media, Nick Shot of Proud New York Jets fan, freaking Italy Jet, Everything New York Jets podcast, Battered Jets fan. Like I've met so many people. And if I miss you, I'm sorry right now. I'm just trying to get it all out. I don't want to make this a very long video, but I've met so many people, you know what I'm saying, in the space of New York Jets content creators that have made this even more fun. And now I've just enjoyed being a part of the community. So thank you all for taking the time to spend with me. And with that said, in homage of this being my 100th video dropping on YouTube, I am doing a giveaway. That giveaway is going to be for Bart Scott autographed football. Right? So this is a Bart Scott autographed football. He's even inscribed it with his very well-known moniker of "Can't Wait." And yeah, doing the giveaway on this one. The giveaway is going to entail pretty much whoever gets the most engagement uh, on this video in terms of sharing it. If this video results in you sharing it and whatnot, and I gain more followers or get more views, it's going to be on Twitter as well for you to do. Like I'm going to be trying to calculate who shared it the most and got the most reaction from sharing this content today. This particular video will be the ultimate winner. I'm going to post all of the details in more clarity on Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter, again, it's going to be down here. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Twitter. But yes, my Bart Scott, you know what I'm saying, autographed football, case and all, with the picture, is going to be the giveaway for my 100th video just dropping on YouTube. And again, so many content creators to thank for giving me the confidence and I guess you can say the guts to just jump in here and talk ball with you guys. And then I've met so many more guys after the fact that have just cultivated this whole experience. Benny and the Jets, I don't want to forget that guy either, man. Like Benny, you're another G. Um, I know I'm missing somebody, man, and if I am, I apologize. This wasn't intentional. You know what I'm saying? Take a shot at me in the comments. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure I get that shout out. You know what I'm saying later on. But just a great deal of you guys. I want to say thank you to, but especially to everybody. Yeah. So this Bart Scott autographed helmet, I'm sorry, autographed football is my 100th video giveaway. And I will say this to my OGs, I have a 1,000 and 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 Twitter followers giveaway that I'm also planning, and it's a nice one. Let's just say it's going to be a mini helmet autographed by legendary Hall of Famers that we all know and love, and the New York Jets have been known to come by when it comes to the defense. I'll leave it at that. But I'm waiting to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and on Twitter for that giveaway, and it will only be for the individuals who are within that 1,000 and below. So everybody that comes in after that won't get it. So I'm gonna screenshot the thousand subscriber mark, and I'm gonna screenshot the 1,000 uh, follower mark, and do that particular video or the giveaway to that first 1,000. Um, but yeah, go Jets, go Jets. Love being part of this community. Till next time. This time, I'm really out.